Hi everyone, my name is Miles and I work with our international students here at Arizona State University. In this video, I'll explain to our international students how to use your MyASU portal and some of the important information and tools you'll find in there. Your portal may look slightly different depending on whether you are an undergraduate or a graduate student and where you are along the process. So we'll look at a few different portals so you can see some of the differences. So here we're looking at the portal for a newly admitted undergraduate student here at ASU. The first thing you'll notice is the My Application Status box. In this box, you'll find the current application status, for which term, and the major of admission and campus that the student has been admitted to. You'll also find here a link to change my major. So if you decide that you do want to change your major of admission, even though you haven't started classes yet, you are eligible to change your major as long as you meet the admission requirements for that major. It's important to remember that if you do change your major, it's not going to reflect here because this is still your original major of admission. It will be reflected somewhere else that I'll show you a little bit later. The next thing you'll find is the Prioirty Tasks list. This is essentially your important to-do items before you arrive on campus, and even some of the things that you'll take care of after you arrive on campus. The first thing at the very top will be pay enrollment deposit. You'll need to pay your enrollment deposit before you're eligible to do anything else in this list. So that's the first thing you need to do. Some other important items include some general new student next steps, which basically involves reviewing informational slides, videos, and some short quizzes. And this will open up some of the next steps that you need to take care of. You'll need to sign up for orientation. You'll need to apply for housing if you are planning on living on campus. And clicking into that will take you to a link to the My Housing portal, which is where you'll apply for housing, confirm housing, and be able to see where you're living and who your roommate is. You'll also need to take a math placement test. And when you click into that, you'll also find a link to the math placement test that all students will need to take. There are various other additional Prioirty tasks as well. So this might look a little bit different for each individual student, depending on where you are in the process and what you may or may not have submitted so far. So if it looks a little bit different, then don't worry. You'll probably find a few different holds on your account as well. This is very normal, and clicking into them will explain to you exactly what you need to take care of in order to release that hold. So I'm sure you'll probably find your MMR immunization hold. Clicking into that will explain exactly what Arizona State University needs from you and how to submit that. You'll also find a few different other Prioirty tasks as well, related to submitting final transcripts, related to your I-20 process as well. So for example, in order to get your I-20, you'll need to submit your financial documents. Clicking into that, you'll be able to find a link to upload those. You'll need to submit your I-20 shipping address, which it's important to remember that an I-20 shipping address needs to be the student's actual home address. It can't be a third party, it can't be someone else, it can't be an office. This needs to be the student's home address. Below that, you'll also find an I-20 tracker box. So this box is where you'll be able to submit all of your I-20 items and track the process as it moves through review, approval, and delivery. So this is a lot of the same information that you'll find above in your Prioirty tasks list, but this I-20 tracker is specific to the I-20 items. Here we're looking at the portal of another undergraduate student that's a little bit further along in the process. You'll be able to see that this student has already registered for classes and what closed classes are. Looking at the schedule, you'll be able to see what the classes are, who the instructor is, when the classes are meeting, where the classes are meeting, and you'll even be able to see a list of the textbooks that you'll need to get for those classes. You'll also see that the Prioirty tasks are a little bit different than for a newly admitted student. So as you move through the process leading up towards the start of classes, your Prioirty tasks will change and new ones may open up depending on where you are. You can see this student's I-20 tracker looks different than a newly admitted student. They've already submitted their I-20 information. It's already been reviewed and approved, and their I-20 has already been delivered. Below the I-20 tracker box is the My Programs box. So this is your current program of study. You can see that this student is currently studying electrical engineering, and again, it'll list the major of study, the campus, and the college. So earlier I mentioned that if you change your major, it won't be reflected in the admission box. It will be reflected here in your My Programs box. So if you have changed your major, take a look at My Programs to see whether your major change has gone through. In here, you'll also be able to click into your degree progress, which will take you to your major map, your DARS report, and explain a little bit more about those two different tools. So if you're a transfer student transferring to ASU, and you're coming with university credit from a different school, or if maybe you've taken AP classes in high school, or if you've really done anything that would give you university credit and you're planning on getting that here at ASU, here's where you'll be able to see that and how it relates to your actual major progress and what classes those credits count for. You can see that this student's also been admitted to the Barrett Honors College as well. Below My Programs, you'll find an Academic Support Team box. Clicking on Academic Advising is where you'll find a link to your particular academic advisor's information. You'll see your advisor's name, their phone number, their email address, and a link to be able to schedule an appointment in order to talk to your academic advisor. On the left side, you'll find calendar and events. Here's where you'll be able to find important upcoming deadlines. It will list when spring break is starting, when final exams are starting, tuition payment deadlines. So important dates coming up will be listed here. You'll also be able to click View Full Calendar and be able to see the complete academic calendar for the entire semester. So this will let you know when things are due and what important dates you need to be keeping track of. The next tab over will be your Finances tab. And this is where you'll be able to see your current charges, your scholarships, and other important financial information. So here you'll be able to see the charges that have been issued to your account. Clicking into it will explain exactly what those fees are. You'll be able to see what you owe for tuition, what you owe for any college fees, and what you owe for any various fees as well. You'll be able to see the total charges, how much of your scholarship is being applied to that, and the total amount due. Below that, you'll be able to see your scholarship awards as well. So here at ASU, tuition payment is done semester by semester. So you'll pay it once in the fall and once in the spring. Likewise, scholarships are distributed 50% in the fall and 50% in the spring. Next to the account charges, you'll find a box called Financial Success. And here's where you'll find a link to scholarships, cost calculator and estimator, and other tools as well. So if you're planning on applying for any other scholarships, if you want to take a look and estimate your cost of attendance or tuition for a semester, you can find links to those tools here. The next tab over is our Campus Services tab. Here you'll find a link to a lot of different resources that are available to students here at ASU. So you'll find health and wellness resources. So if you want to schedule an appointment to visit the clinic on campus, if you want to see health insurance information or counseling information, you'll be able to find all of that here. You'll find transportation. So if you want to buy a discounted student bus pass or light rail pass, if you want to buy a car and park it on campus, you'll be able to get parking permits. So a lot of your transportation things will be taken care of right here, as well as student success, academic support, and library resources as well. So you'll also find a social activities box. So if you want to buy tickets for a sports game, if you want to join a club, you can find all of that here. If you want to connect with career support resources, so if you want help finding an internship or finding a job, you'll be able to find links to your particular resources here, as well as a link to our student employment board. So if you want to work on campus or find a student job, you'll be able to do that here as well. You'll also find a link to on-campus living. So here you'll find another link to our university housing portal. Again, this is where you can apply for housing, confirm housing, and just take care of all of your housing items. Below that is dining. You'll find meal plan information. So if you want to purchase a meal plan, change your meal plan, anything like that, you'll be able to do that here with the dining tools. The next tab over will be your profile. So this is information specific to you here at ASU. So you'll be able to see your names, that are on file, email addresses, addresses, and phone numbers. So it's really important to remember that once you arrive here in Arizona, you're updating it to your most current address and phone number. That way, if the university needs to send you anything or if they need to contact you for any reason, they're able to do so. Another important tool is your guest access permissions box. So if you decide that you'd like to give your parents or anybody else access to your MyASU to be able to do things like pay your tuition on your behalf, check your admission status, see your grades, anything like that, you'll be able to take care of that through guest access permissions. The final tab is the help tab. So here you'll be able to access ASU's knowledge base. So for frequently asked questions, you'll be able to search them in here. If you need immediate assistance with anything, so this could be you're not able to check your email, you've been locked out of your account, anything like that, you'll be able to find the 24/7 helpline number as well as a live chat as well. If you've submitted any cases, you'll be able to track their progress as well and how those are being resolved. If you're a graduate student who's applying for ASU, your portal might look a little bit different. Most of what I've covered for undergraduate students will be exactly the same, but one of the big differences is for graduate students, they'll have a tool to manage their recommenders. So here is where you'll put in contact information for your recommenders to submit their recommendation letters, and you'll be able to manage their progress as well. For graduate students that have been admitted to ASU, you'll see that for the most part, the portal looks very, very similar to an undergraduate student. You'll find some priority tasks are the same, some priority tasks might be different. But in general, most of the items are very, very similar. Okay, so that's pretty much the overview of MyASU and some of the important things that students are going to need to take care of. Now, besides your MyASU portal, there are a few other tools on the website that I'd like to bring to your attention to make sure that you know about. The first tool that I want to share is our MyASU Parent and Guest Access. So this is where you're able to allow a parent or another guest access to your MyASU information. So in it, they'll be able to see things like your admission status, your class schedules, your grades, finances. They'll allow it to pay tuition and fees on your behalf and be able to see tasks and to-do items as well. So it's up to the student to enable this, and students can choose what they want the guest to have access to and what they don't want them to have access to. So this is something that could be done with this tool here. Another tool I want to mention is our University Housing Portal. You can access your housing portal through your MyASU portal, and in here is where you can apply for housing, confirm housing, and just take care of anything that you need related to housing. Another tool is our academic calendar. Again, this is something that can be accessed through the MyASU portal. In here, you'll find an entire semester's worth of important dates, when you need to take care of certain items, and basically give you an overview of how the entire semester is going to go. Another important tool is our tuition estimator. So here you're able to estimate what you're going to pay for tuition depending on your specific major. So let's say, for example, we are applying for the 2020-21 academic year. We are an international student at the undergraduate level. We want to study at the Tempe campus, and our major is in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. We'd be able to see estimated cost breakdown in terms of what we're going to pay for tuition. So here we can see what international tuition is per semester, what it is total for the academic year, and what fees we can expect to pay as well. So besides the tuition estimator, which really only addresses tuition and fees, we also have a cost of attendance estimator. So this is the overall cost of attending Arizona State University. So if we are an undergraduate student who is an international student, we can estimate our tuition at the Tempe campus for a year, fees for a year, books for a year, supplies for a year, housing for a year, meals, travel, personal health insurance, as well as visa fees, and see an overall cost of attendance for an entire year at Arizona State University. I hope that was useful. Please be sure to contact us with any questions you might have.